Welcome back. Tonight, we're venturing into the darker side of the internet where anonymity can hide the most disturbing intentions. The stories you'll hear are true accounts from people who thought they were safe behind their screens until they weren't. These aren't just campfire tales, they're chilling reminders that the line between the virtual and real world can vanish in an instant. So, listen closely and remember, sometimes the scariest monsters are the ones we invite into our lives online. Let's begin. The late 90s, a time of dial-up modems, the burgeoning World Wide Web, and a sense of anonymity that felt both liberating and, at times, unsettling. Kevin, barely out of his teens, found himself drawn to the flickering glow of his computer screen, seeking connection in the digital frontier. He wasn't particularly popular in the real world, but online, he could be anyone, say anything. He found comfort in a small online chat community, a digital watering hole where users gathered to share thoughts, dreams, and the occasional awkward silence. The chat room was a constant hum of fleeting conversations, usernames blinking in and out of existence. One night, amidst the usual digital chatter, a new user appeared, Stranger. Their entrance was unannounced, unceremonious, yet it sent a ripple of unease through the virtual space. Kevin, like the other users, watched with a mixture of curiosity and apprehension as Stranger's name lingered in the user list. Then, a private message window popped up on Kevin's screen, breaking the silence. It simply read, "Hello, Kevin." Kevin stared at the message, a chill creeping up his spine. His username wasn't his real name. It was a handle he'd chosen to maintain a semblance of privacy. How did they know? The internet, in his mind, was a place of assumed identities. This felt like a violation, a crack in the wall of anonymity he'd carefully constructed. He hesitated, his fingers hovering over the keyboard. Finally, he typed a cautious reply. "Who is this?" Stranger replied, the words appearing instantly on the screen. "I know a lot of things." The message was followed by another and another, each one chipping away at Kevin's sense of security. "You work at the bookstore on Elm Street. You like your coffee with 2 sugars, even though you know it's bad for you." The messages grew more personal, more invasive. "And you're alone right now, aren't you? Just like you always are." Kevin's heart pounded in his chest, a frantic drumbeat against his ribs. Elm Street was near his apartment. It wasn't a common name. It felt too specific to be a coincidence. He tried to brush it off as a prank, a twisted game being played by someone with too much time on their hands. But Stranger's next message was eerily specific. "Mark is asleep, isn't he? Dreaming of spreadsheets and quarterly reports. He has that big presentation tomorrow, the one he's been stressing about for weeks. You talked about it at lunch with Sarah and Tom, complaining about how Mark always gets the good projects." Fear turned to anger. Kevin, desperate to regain control, demanded to know who it was, what they wanted. Stranger ignored him, the messages continuing their relentless stream. "You should lock your back door, Kevin. It's not safe to leave it open, you know. One in the kitchen. The latch is a bit loose. It's been like that for weeks, hasn't it? You keep meaning to fix it, but you never get around to it." Kevin, now consumed by a primal terror, his hands shaking uncontrollably, checked the door. It was unlocked. The latch was loose, just as Stranger had described. A wave of nausea washed over him. He fumbled with the lock, his fingers clumsy with fear. He locked it. The click, echoing in the sudden silence of his apartment, rushed back to his computer and saw a new message. The words on the screen seemed to burn into his retinas. "Too late. I'm already inside." Panic surged through him, a tidal wave threatening to drown him. He scanned his apartment, his eyes darting from shadow to shadow, desperately searching for any sign of intrusion. Nothing. The silence was deafening, broken only by the frantic pounding of his own heart. Another message appeared, chillingly calm, amidst the chaos of his fear. "I like the color of your walls. Pale blue. It's calming. A nice contrast to the chaos you feel inside, isn't it?" Kevin's living room was in fact pale blue, a color he'd chosen for its supposed tranquility. It was a detail he hadn't shared with anyone online. No one could know that unless they were there, watching him. Reason abandoned him. He scrambled to barricade himself in his bedroom, shoving furniture against the door, creating a makeshift barrier against the unseen threat. He fumbled for his phone and called 911, his voice trembling with terror. As he whispered his address to the operator, his voice barely audible above the pounding in his ears, he heard a slow, deliberate scratching on the other side of his door. A sound that promised something sinister. Time seemed to stretch into an eternity. Finally, the distant wail of sirens grew louder, closer. Police arrived quickly, their presence a beacon of hope in the encroaching darkness. The scratching stopped abruptly. They searched the apartment, their flashlights cutting through the shadows. Every room, every closet, every corner was scrutinized. But no one was there. No signs of forced entry, no indication that anyone had been inside. The police, while professional, were clearly skeptical. They suggested it was a prank, a cruel joke played by someone online. But Kevin knew better. He felt the violation, the chilling certainty that someone had been there, watching him, invading his life. He never logged into that chat room again. He severed all ties to that online world, desperate to erase the memory of that night. But the memory lingered, a persistent shadow in the back of his mind. For years, he'd wake at night, startled from sleep, convinced he heard scratching at his door, a constant reminder of the night the stranger came into his life. Sometimes, the internet's mask hides more than just a face. It hides intent, a darkness that can seep into the real world. And sometimes, something much worse than mere malice. Sometimes, it hides a presence, a lurking entity that feeds on fear and thrives in the shadows. The digital abyss is never as empty as it seems. It's a vast, unknowable space, filled with whispers and echoes, and sometimes, something far more sinister. Be careful what you seek in the darkness, for you might just find it. Sarah met Alara, a connection forged in the vast digital landscape. In a classic literature forum, a haven for book lovers and intellectual discussions. It was a shared passion for timeless stories that initially drew them together. Over a year, their online interactions blossomed into a genuine friendship. They spent countless hours exchanging messages, discovering shared interests, and building a strong bond. Sharing secrets, those intimate details of their lives that only close confidants are privy to. Dreams, the hopes and aspirations that fueled their ambitions and gave them a sense of purpose. And daily life, the mundane and the extraordinary moments that shaped their experiences and perspectives. Alara described her life, painting vivid pictures with her words, drawing Sarah into her world. In a coastal Oregon town, a place that sounded idyllic and serene, far removed from Sarah's own reality. Sending photos of the sea, capturing the raw beauty and untamed power of the ocean. And a beautiful Victorian house, a grand and elegant structure that seemed to hold secrets within its walls. But Alara never wanted to video chat, always offering excuses, creating a sense of mystery around her identity, or share personal photos, further fueling Sarah's curiosity and raising questions about Alara's true self. When Sarah planned a road trip, excited at the prospect of finally meeting her dear friend in person, near Alara's town, she envisioned a heartwarming reunion, a celebration of their friendship. She suggested meeting, eager to bridge the gap between their online world and reality. Alara refused, her response laced with an inexplicable fear and a chilling sense of finality. Growing distant and cold, their once warm and vibrant connection fading into an unsettling silence. Then, Alara sent a cruel message, shattering Sarah's hopes and leaving her reeling in disbelief. "You should just leave me alone." The words stung like a slap, filled with a venom Sarah couldn't comprehend. "You don't know anything about me." A chilling reminder of the secrets that lay hidden beneath the surface of their friendship. Heartbroken, Sarah visited the town anyway, driven by a desperate need for answers and a refusal to let go of the bond they once shared. Using the address Alara had given her, clinging to the last tangible piece of information she had about her elusive friend, she found the house, her heart pounding with anticipation and a growing sense of unease. Abandoned, a desolate and decaying structure that stood in stark contrast to the vibrant image Alara had painted. Windows boarded, concealing the darkness within and hinting at a long-forgotten past. Garden overgrown, a testament to years of neglect and a symbol of the secrets buried beneath the soil. A neighbor told her, an elderly woman with knowing eyes and a voice filled with a mixture of pity and fear. No one had lived there for 20 years, shattering Sarah's reality and plunging her into a world of unanswered questions. The last family had a daughter named Alara, a name that echoed through the empty house and sent shivers down Sarah's spine, who died as a teenager, a tragic fate that cast a dark shadow over the town and the abandoned house. The photos of the town were real, the only tangible link to the Alara she thought she knew. But the house had been empty for decades, a chilling contradiction that defied explanation. Sarah showed the neighbor her messages, hoping for some clarity, some explanation for the impossible situation. The woman was speechless, her eyes wide with disbelief and a dawning realization of the unsettling truth. As Sarah left, she wondered, her mind racing with unanswered questions and a growing sense of dread. Who had she been talking to? A figment of her imagination? A cruel prankster? Or something far more sinister? Was it a cruel hoax, a calculated deception designed to inflict pain and confusion? Or something far stranger? A supernatural encounter? A glimpse into a world beyond human comprehension. Alara's account vanished, as if she had never existed, leaving no trace of her presence in the digital world. Sarah never heard from her again, forever haunted by the mystery of the disappearing friend. Online, you never truly know, the anonymity of the internet providing a veil of secrecy and deception. Who's on the other side? The person behind the screen remaining an enigma, their true intentions hidden from view, or what dark secrets they might be concealing. Our final story comes from Alex, an urban explorer, a thrill seeker with a passion for uncovering the hidden secrets of forgotten places. He loved the adrenaline rush of stepping into the unknown, documenting his adventures, and sharing them with others who shared his unique interest. Alex shared his adventures in a tight-knit online community, a digital haven for fellow urban explorers. It was a place to exchange tips, share photos, and connect with like-minded individuals who understood the allure of the abandoned. He found camaraderie and a sense of belonging in this virtual world. One user, Shadow_Watcher, seemed friendly at first, engaging with Alex's posts and offering seemingly harmless comments. He appeared to be just another member of the community, eager to connect and share in the excitement of urban exploration. But soon, Shadow_Watcher became invasive, asking about Alex's job, probing into his personal life with unsettling curiosity. The questions became more frequent, more personal, crossing the line from friendly interest to something far more sinister. Home, pressing for details about his living situation and the security of his residence and plans. Shadow_Watcher wanted to know about Alex's daily schedule, his upcoming trips, and any planned explorations. The relentless inquiries created a growing sense of unease in Alex. After Alex posted about an abandoned mill, a location he considered particularly special and hidden, Shadow_Watcher messaged, "The mill was amazing. I know that place well. It's even more impressive in person, isn't it? That basement entrance was tricky. I almost missed it myself the first time I went. I saw you there. I was there too, watching you explore. You have a red backpack. I noticed it right away. It's quite distinctive. I was watching from the upper floor." The message sent shivers down Alex's spine. He realized he was not alone. He was being watched. Alex blocked him, severing the digital connection and hoping to put an end to the unsettling interactions, but soon received an anonymous email. "I'm still watching?" The subject line was empty, the sender unknown, but the message was clear and chilling. Attached was a photo of Alex walking toward his apartment, the image grainy and taken from a distance, suggesting surveillance. Taken from a distance. The angle was unnerving, as if someone was deliberately hiding, observing his every move. The police couldn't help. They explained that without a direct threat, their hands were tied. The emails were untraceable. The stalker was skilled at hiding their digital footprint, using anonymous servers and encrypted connections. More photos arrived, his car in the garage, taken late at night, the flash reflecting off the surrounding concrete. His mailbox, a seemingly innocuous object now imbued with a sense of dread. All time stamped in the middle of the night, further emphasizing the stalker's nocturnal habits and relentless pursuit. Alex became a prisoner in his own home, trapped by the invisible eyes that seemed to follow his every move. Covering windows, desperately trying to create a barrier between himself and the outside world. Changing routines, varying his routes to work and avoiding familiar haunts. Sleeping little, haunted by nightmares and the constant fear of being watched. The stalker's final message: I was behind you in the grocery store today. I saw you browsing the aisles, carefully selecting your items. You bought that brand of ice cream I like. It's my favorite too. A testament to our shared tastes. We have so much in common. The message was a chilling reminder of the stalker's proximity and their twisted sense of connection. Alex remembered the chill in the frozen food aisle, the feeling of eyes on his back as he reached for the ice cream. The sense of being watched, a prickling sensation that had become all too familiar. That night, he packed his bags, driven by a desperate need to escape the suffocating presence of his stalker. Moved to a new state, hoping to find anonymity and peace of mind in a new environment. Deleted his online presence, erasing his digital footprint in an attempt to disappear from the stalker's radar, and started over, clinging to the hope that he could finally break free from the relentless pursuit. But even now, he never feels truly safe, constantly looking over his shoulder, haunted by the fear that the stalker is still out there watching. The internet can make us visible to anyone, anywhere, blurring the lines between connection and vulnerability. Sometimes the shadows follow you offline, a chilling reminder that the digital world can have very real and terrifying consequences. The internet connects us, but its anonymity can be a veil for darkness. These stories remind us the barrier between online and real life is fragile. Be cautious with what you share and who you trust. If you've had a chilling online encounter, share it in the comments below. Thank you for joining me tonight. Stay vigilant, stay safe, and remember, sometimes the scariest things online are real. Subscribe for more stories that will keep you up at night. Until next time, be careful who you talk to in the dark.